You guys were in England. We're in England, you guys! Woohoo! Yay! We're in England! We're in England, darling.
Last week, we started our journey through the UK with a visit to London. We checked out all the main tourist sites, as well as some lesser-known locations. In case you missed it, we'll link it right here for you to check it out. And of course, please remember to like and subscribe so that you don't miss out on all our adventures to come. We're just getting started.
Been a little bit of a whirlwind here in London. Sad to leave. I feel like we could spend a lot longer here. I think you could probably spend months here and not see everything. So I'm excited. I think we'll have a little bit more room at our next place. A little slower paced. Everybody's got somewhere to be in London. We went to this really good breakfast place right there called the Artist Residence, which
so good.
looks like a
Cute.
little B&B and also a really cool restaurant. Definitely worth checking out if you're in the Victoria
Well, it
area.
looked like they had good lunches and dinners too, and like cocktails.
Too early in the morning, unfortunately, for a cocktail.
I mean, they did hand us the cocktail menu, so legally I don't think so.
Go get us a car.
To get our rental car, we had to ride the tube to the Avis near King's Cross.
Change here.
I almost always book our rental cars through Priceline, which gives me the best deals and rates from lots of different car rental companies like Avis. This isn't any sort of ad or partnership, I'm just saying this so that hopefully it can help you guys on your next trip.
It's a funeral.
And while we were picking up the car, we noticed a funeral happening right next door with a real bagpipe and everything.
We just packed everything in our little Peugeot, and now it's getting real interesting on the right-hand side. Let's head out on maybe the biggest adventure yet.
This might be the craziest thing we've done.
Getting out of London was about as crazy as we expected. We went around the block a few times so Matt could get used to the car, and then we sat in stop-and-go traffic for about half an hour. Luckily it loosened up once we got on the M4 highway.
We've made it to Chippenham,
Chippenham.
the biggest town in the area that we're staying.
Which is not saying
And it
much.
doesn't seem very big.
It's a really small.
I think I was just like, oh, I'm finally getting used to London, and nope, Chippenham.
You drove on the left
I
side.
did.
It was a big deal.
And
it's so good.
not that big a deal, actually. Everything is opposite. So, like, you're not only sitting on the right side of the car, but you're also on the left side of the road. So it's the same thing as like home, where you're sitting
just
on the left side of the car. Yeah. I mean, it's
Easier.
honestly the best just to not think about it and just like do what's in front of
follow the
you. Otherwise,
leader.
like if you think about it too much, you'll just be like, what am I supposed to do at this roundabout? So we're gonna go get some groceries because we have a kitchen in our next place. That looks like a pub I want to go to. We don't want juicy bits, we want no bits. Not extra juicy bits either. For local shoppers. We've made it to where we'll be staying for the next like 19 days or something. Looks cool. So fun.
Guys, you won't believe it. We actually didn't book through booking.com this time. Since we were staying longer than a few days, we decided to book with Airbnb for more of a homey feel. I know you're disappointed, but don't worry, we still have a link you guys can use to get a discount on your stay through Airbnb in the description of this video, so go check it out.
place is cool.
Yeah.
Really fun to stay here.
Our apartment even came with a dog. We wish. But we did get to spend a lot of time with our owner's sweet pup, Duchess, who would wander over to our apartment whenever she had the chance. We also had some really friendly neighbors. Get it? Neighbors? Okay, too much.
Shelby is not up yet. I stand corrected. The parents coming today, so it'll be fun to see mom and dad, or pops and mom. I don't call my dad Dad a lot of the time. I call him Pops. Are you ready to go hang out with your in-laws?
In English?
Are you stretching to be prepared to run if you need to?
I'm just getting the blood flowing because I've been sitting all day with my feet on the ground. This is really good for your circulation, you know.
We arrived yesterday. We drove a couple hours from London and checked into our Airbnb. Tried a million times to find somewhere for dinner. We went to like 3 different places and got rejected. And finally found a nice little Greek place at like, what was it, 9:30? And had a great dinner. And our service was wonderful. We had some kind of shots with the bartender / owner. Since we were kind of like the last customers. That drink was very strong. Today we just had a work day and hung out at the Airbnb. We both exercised. Matt went on a run. I did a little fit-on workout in the backyard, which is great because you can just access it anywhere with Wi-Fi. I'm not sponsored by them. I just want to plug that they are great, and especially if you're traveling, but even if you're not, it's just a great resource for working out because it's free and it has tons of different classes. You feel like you're really part of the class, and there's also like articles and nutrition help and all sorts of helpful stuff. And now we are on our way to dinner with some special guests who are coming to visit.
Hold on to your girdle.
Ooh!
You're walking on the wrong side of the road.
I don't understand yet. I don't know what it says.
It's so pretty when you turn in. You're like,
Really close because I need to get my cord so I can.
Dad forgot his charger like a big weeb.
Ding dong. I know.
This is really cool.
Matt's parents were staying at the Beachfield House in Melksham, which had the most beautiful grounds and pool and a really friendly staff. We had dinner in their dining room restaurant that evening and had such a fun time catching up with Ted and Carol.
Ready for a day of adventure? We're gonna go see the English countryside with Mima and Peepaw, and then see a bunch of Harry Potter stuff. It's like pulling teeth with these two. They're like teenagers. They don't even know how to get ready in the morning. Shelby's also a little hangry. Don't want to upset the Shelby when she
like when you refer to me as an object. Okay, should I introduce our special guests?
That's Mima.
No, do
And
not
that's
call me that.
Peepaw. Just kidding. Those names are reserved for when they're grandparents.
No.
And
Yeah.
that hasn't happened yet.
No announcements today.
No announcements today.
We're driving on our way to a little town called Lacock, which you've probably never heard of, but if you've ever seen Harry Potter, you've probably seen, you just didn't know about it. And there's plenty of other little sights to see around the town, so we're gonna go explore.
Look, coming into Lacock Village.
Oh, it's
And
so
the honey-colored
cute.
stone of the Cotswolds.
Lacock is a small Cotswold village that has been incredibly well preserved. It looks, in many ways, the same as it did hundreds of years ago. It feels like you're traveling back in time. We came across our first Harry Potter film site of the day. You can see the sign of the Angel Inn in the background when Harry first apparates with Dumbledore. Apparates, for those of you that don't know, means that you transport from one place to another with a flick of a wand.
I don't think they have to use the wand.
Whatever, nerd. We haven't traveled with other people in a while, and so I'm not used to waiting around forever. The next stop was the house where they filmed He Who Must Not Be Named, arriving at Harry's childhood home and murdering his parents. Fun stuff. The main church of Lacock is called St. Cyriac's, and it was built in the 14th century. It's gone through a few partial remodels over the years, but for the most part remains the same. Surprised that He Who Must Not Be Named didn't do anything to that place. Shell was getting hangry, so we hunted down this little shop with these amazing pastries. This is where we first encountered sausage rolls. What did you get there?
I got myself a sausage roll for like $2.
What have you noticed, Dad, about these roofs?
Well, they've been here probably for centuries. They're stone or slate, and a lot of lichen and other things have grown over them.
When you buy a ticket for the Abbey, you also get to visit the Talbot Museum. We knew we wanted to see the Hogwarts film sites, but we had no idea that the man who owned the Abbey at one point also helped discover the original film negative. They have a whole museum devoted to his inventions, plus a lot of old cameras. It was a cool experience. We're in England, you guys.
We're in England, you guys. Woohoo! Yay!
Mom has been saying that about 10,000 times.
We're in England, darling.
Yes, indeed.
Before visiting the cloisters, that's a fun word, cloisters, we toured the interior of the Abbey where the nuns originally lived. We also got to see where Henry Fox Talbot eventually lived and worked on his inventions. We even saw the window that served as the subject of what might be the oldest negative photographed. Talbot took it right in this very hallway. Yet another piano that I am not able to play.
Oh, tragic indeed.
Look at these little miniature tea things.
Do you want some of these for your birthday, Mom?
No, but they're fun to look at. I can't get like right in front of it. It's too...
You should have...
Look at that old grandfather's clock. Another
Now onto the part you clicked on this video for. The Abbey was founded in 1229 by the Countess of Salisbury. Henry VIII later sold the Abbey to a man who demolished it and turned it into a house, but thankfully the cloisters remained intact. We're in Hogwarts. The Abbey was used in the first few Harry Potter movies as Hogwarts hallways and even some of the classrooms.
right here in the first one.
This little spot right here is where they do a big
And he's
scene.
like spying on the professors and Snape is interrogating.
You may not recognize this room, but it was used as Professor Snape's potions classroom in the first movie. There was certainly no foolish wand waving or silly incantations in this class. This room belonged to Professor Quirrell. You may notice that the room holds a historic cauldron in the center, and I guess they had to work that in as a prop in Quirrell's classroom. I do think it's a bit strange, though, that they chose to use this room with a cauldron for defense against the dark arts, rather than a potions room. That doesn't make a ton of sense. Well, we would highly recommend coming to the Lacock Abbey. It's very cool.
You guys were in England.
Good to be reminded.
Having fun, we're in England.
We just got back to Mom and Dad's place that they're staying. Dad and I are gonna go on a quick run and then get ready for dinner and go to a pub that our hosts from Airbnb told us was really good. So we'll check it out.
We ate at the highly recommended White Hart Inn in the town of Ford, and it did not disappoint. And look at this little fairy door we found. The next day, we drove Ted and Carol to their next hotel in Combe, the town which was voted prettiest in all of the UK. The manor house was built in the 14th century, but it wasn't converted into a hotel until the 1950s. Apparently, Margaret Thatcher even wrote some of her memoirs in the bar.
This is where Mom and Dad are staying, and it's nice because every room has a doorbell. Hurry up.
Once Matt's parents got checked in, we joined them for a stroll around the grounds. This was some of the most beautiful land we've seen in our whole trip. We especially loved the Italian-style gardens and the massive trees that have probably been there for centuries.
We're now at Mom and Dad's fancy schmancy hotel.
The Manor House
The
in
Manor
Combe.
House in Combe.
Probably the nicest hotel, at least in Combe, maybe in the area.
Yeah, super cool.
Very beautiful. Even if you're not staying here, if you're able to come visit and just
I
walk
think you
around
can
the
just
grounds,
walk around.
it's probably worth it because it's
You should.
really beautiful.
Yeah, look at this view.
Maybe you can even get a drink at one of the outdoor tables. We'll see or not.
Oh, what's this up here? There's so much to explore.
A door that doesn't lead anywhere.
I almost picture it to be one of those ones that like you push like a certain rock or something and then it like
And then it opens up.
It's not
Try it
working.
again.
It's broken.
A broken.
This one. I'm out. There's nothing up here.
We are going to the little town of Combe. It's a lazy, lazy day today.
A restful day.
Today is all about resting. We wandered over to St. Andrew's Church right next door to the Manor House in Combe. It was built in the 13th century and houses some insanely old graves in the churchyard. Mom's got another door in the books. Is this a gnome door, Mom?
Maybe, or a dwarf.
To venture into those dark woods. I will say Combe at this time of year is incredibly touristy, and it's such a small place that even 30 people, 40 people feels like a lot, so maybe there's a better time to come, but honestly, like, this is the best time to come because of the weather. This path is incredible. had no idea that the great accounting firm came from this little town. Ernst Young, buried right here. No market. In the village hall. Maybe we can find you some food there.
Maybe.
Uh-oh, we lost Mom.
We shared a ploughman's lunch, which is basically just a British charcuterie. In the afternoon, we went on a longer walk on the Manor House grounds, and Matt and Ted even got to hit a few golf balls at the driving range. We ended the day with a cream tea in the drawing room and a lovely evening spent wandering along the Bybrook.
Next week, we're back on the road. Come along with us on a day trip to Oxford University. We'll explore some of the historic colleges and libraries, see a few more Harry Potter sites, and we'll get a glimpse into the history and culture of this amazing school. Plus, more Mima and Peepaw. I mean, my mom and dad. Yay! And of course, remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss out.